Hey y'all, Grant Sasser here of the Voice of College Football Network. You are watching the Go Time podcast here on the LSU channel of the Voice of College Football Network. We had some breaking news, or really not so much breaking news because it broke yesterday. I just hadn't gotten a chance to make the video, and that is that five-star edge rusher Trenton Henderson from Pensacola Catholic in Pensacola, Florida. He has committed to the Tigers. It's a huge recruiting win for LSU. There was two commitments happening that day. Of course, you had Trenton Henderson's, but you also had J.J. Bush's commitment as well. J.J. Bush had a choice between LSU, Arkansas, Missouri. He was a three-star linebacker from the state of Alabama. Actually, he was a four-star linebacker from the state of Louisiana. But not the state of Alabama. I'm sorry. Say from Theodore High School in Alabama. And LSU is making him high priority because LSU does not have a linebacker yet that has committed to the class of 2026. And J.J. Bush was a high priority, but unfortunately he committed to Arkansas. But that was shortly before LSU got the big news that Trenton Henderson turned down Florida and Texas to come to LSU. His commitment was official yesterday. It's a huge deal for LSU. Trenton Henderson is a five-star by 24/7 Sports. He's a four-star by Rivals / On3 because Rivals and On3 merged together. But we're gonna call him a five-star for the sake of purpose. He's the number, according to 24/7. He's the number 28 prospect nationally. He's the fourth best edge rusher in the country and the number 5 prospect out of the state of Florida. On3 has him number 77. Nationally, 12th best edge rusher in the country, number 7 in the state of Florida, but still very solid, right? A top 100 player. 6'4", 225. And if you watch his highlight tape, and I got to watch it earlier, both his junior and sophomore, this is junior highlight tape right now. The first thing that stood out to me was simply this word, and it starts with a V. Violent. Like, it just, you click on the highlight tape, and you just watch every single highlight. You just wonder if this dude just decided to wake up with violence on his mind. He's violent off the edge, violent on the point of attack, and shows no regard to whoever has the ball, right? If you have the ball, you better hope and pray. You better hope and pray to Jesus, God, Mary, Joseph, Saint Sebastian, Pope John Paul II, you name it. He is that type of edge rusher. He could play either defensive end or he could play outside linebacker. He could play in a three. He could play in a 3-point stance. He can play in a 2-point stance. He's a very versatile linebacker. I think he's very versatile. You can put him in a 3-4. You can use him in a 3-4 or a 4-3. That's how versatile he is. And he also has great pursuit. If the play is on the opposite side of the field, he's gonna make the play. And you can see him actually right here playing as a cornerback, right? And then not only that, making the open field tackle, right? He's a very versatile player. He's not afraid to play in pass coverage if he has to have him to play outside linebacker. And also, the thing is, he has a chance to be bigger. He has a chance to be 240, 250 pounds. So right now he's at 225. He could be much bigger. He really could. And that's kind of scary to think about because he is very fast, very, very, very fast. For somebody his size, and that's something that LSU needs. You want killers on your defense. And that's something that LSU has been lacking. Now they've gotten better on defense, right? Because Braden Swinson and Savion Jones showed that. There were some killers on LSU's defense last year in the front seven. You probably want some more in the secondary, but you can see that's kind of coming back in the LSU's front seven. You needed that, and this is another guy that can enhance that killer personality that Blake Baker wants, that Kevin Peoples, the defensive ends coach, is looking for. And also Kevin Peoples, really, every time I talk to a recruit that is it, because at edge rusher, they have nothing but nice things to say about Kevin Peoples. Kevin Peoples has been doing a great job recruiting so far, and I think you're going to keep seeing that. So this is another great piece that Kevin Peoples can work with and develop and make him a great edge rusher. We saw that with Savion Jones. Savion Jones greatly improved last year. We saw the jump that Braden Swinson had, and we all saw in the spring where the defensive ends were arguably the best position group on the field for LSU. So, I mean, just an outstanding pickup for LSU. His stat. So last year, for Pensacola Catholic, he racked up 50 tackles, 18 of which were for a loss, 20 quarterback hits, 10 sacks, 6 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery in 10 games. And he helped lead Pensacola to the 2A playoffs. Like, this guy is an absolute killer. And I think this was a huge pickup for LSU. Right now, looking at the rankings, LSU only has the 13th best overall class, according to 24/7. But that's only because if you really think about it, they really haven't signed that much players, and you're going to see that ranking go up as recruiting season keeps rolling along. Trenton Henderson is the 12th commitment for LSU's 2026 class, and he's also the third 5-star to commit to LSU's class. And what I mean by 5 stars, right? 24/7 has 24/7 only has 2 5-stars rated in LSU's class, which is Tristan Keys and of course Trenton Henderson. But we also count for Richard Anderson's 5-star rating for On3 and Rivals. LSU has 3, right? And Richard Anderson, yes, 24/7 has a 4-star recruit, but also I think he's a high-end 4-star. He's a borderline 4-star or a 5-star recruit. That's what I think of Richard Anderson. And as somebody who's seen him play in person multiple times, he's that type of player, right? I know it's only high school, but every time I see Richard Anderson, he stands out. He does. Not only because of his size, of course. I mean, he's a big boy, 6'4", 6'5", 330. But he also is, I mean, like, people try to run away from Richard Anderson. People don't really try to run up the middle because of Richard Anderson, right? So that's something you have to factor in. And I just also think that the way LSU's been recruited on the defensive line, of course, that started with Bo Davis, who has now departed to become the defensive line coach for the Saints. But Kyle Williams is also making his impact felt. Like, the recruits really like Kyle Williams. And also the fact that he was a multiple-time Pro Bowler in the NFL, also kind of helps with that recruitment as well. People, like, recruits do like that because he did play at the highest level, right? Because a lot of these coaches don't really have the aspect of, a lot of these coaches, played at the college level, but maybe didn't play that much. Maybe didn't even play at all, right? Some of them even play college football, while some didn't. They became All-Americans. But there's not a whole lot of position coaches you could say were a 5 or 6-time Pro Bowler at the professional level, and that's what Kyle Williams was. He was arguably the best player on the Bills for over 10 years because he played for the Bills when they were sorry. This is before Josh Allen got there. So he has the aspect of knowing what it takes to not only get to the league, but also maintain that level of play in the league. But also Blake Baker and also his recruitment efforts as well. Not only at, linebackers, but also all around, right? Because it all starts with the scheme, right? Scheme is very important when it comes to recruitment because that's what a lot of players look for. They look for scheme and they look for development, along with the other stuff like NAL and, blah, blah, blah. But once again, another huge pickup for LSU. And really, you're going to start to see some of these more, right? Tomorrow, Isaiah Washington, 3-star safety out of Haynesville, Louisiana. He will be making his commitment on July 4th, so stay tuned for another show tomorrow. And, of course, Lamar Brown will make his commitment on July 10th, and that's between LSU, Texas A&M, Texas, and Miami, Texas A&M, Texas, and, of course, LSU. And there's going to be some other commitments as well in the coming days. So LSU has a great chance to boost up the recruitment rankings. They're 13th right now according to 24/7, but they're 6th according to Rivals and On3. So tomorrow you have Booby Feaster, wide receiver, 4-star wide receiver from DeSoto, Texas. Right now Texas A&M is he's leaning towards Texas A&M, but LSU could still pick up his recruitment. Still a good chance. You got tight end Braden Fogel from Mansfield High School in Ohio. You also have receiver Xavier McDonald from Mississippi. So you could see, I think for LSU, I think you could see one. I think Xavier McDonald LSU has a great chance of landing Xavier McDonald. But Braden Fogel and Booby Feaster kind of toss-ups. July 5th, you have Calvin Russell from Miami Northwestern. Right now, he is an LSU lock. Wide receiver Jalen Lott from Frisco, Texas. Panther Creek High School in Texas. Right now, he's leaning towards Texas, but we'll see. Anything can happen. And on July 10th, not only have Lamar Brown, who right now is an LSU lock, but Texas A&M is played. He could very well commit to Texas A&M. We do know that he has a strong connection with A&M, and that's something to watch out for in the coming days. But right now, it looks like LSU is the favorite, but anything can happen. You also have Jamarion Carlton from Temple, Texas. Right now, he's leaning towards Texas, but from talking with him, he has a good relationship with Kevin Peoples, and LSU is in the hunt for that. Right. You also have DeAnthony Lafayette, who right now is leaning towards LSU, but anything can happen, right? DeAnthony Lafayette. I know the name. You see the name Lafayette, and you probably think he is from Louisiana based off the last name alone, but he is from Atlanta, Florida. But he is rated as an edge rusher, 6'1", 230, but his primary recruiter has been Blake Baker. So that lets me know that LSU's recruiting him as a linebacker rather than an edge rusher. So outside linebacker, inside, outside linebacker, kind of like that ordeal. But he's also supposed to make his commitment on July 10th as well. So there's going to be a lot of commitments coming in the near days, so stay tuned on this channel, right? And like the video. And also, this is the end of the show. So if you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, click on the bell for notifications on future shows like this, and also live shows that we do every Monday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you want to make sure to subscribe and click on the bell, because there's going to be a lot more commitments coming throughout the month of July is usually when there's going to be a lot of commitments. So stay on track of that. And whenever that happens, I will release a video like this. So make sure to stay tuned. Got a lot of great content for the rest of the summer. And of course, next month is the start of fall camp. So make sure to stay tuned to that. I'm your host, Grant Sastray. And you guys have a happy 4th of July. Because I'm going to be relaxing. But unfortunately, there's a lot of recruits coming in tomorrow on July the 4th. So I'm probably going to have to be working then. But you guys have a great 4th of July, and stay tuned for all the latest on the voice of college football, specifically the LSU YouTube channel. You guys have a good one, and go Tigers.